What's going on, fishy friends, and welcome to the 2026 Autism Awareness Invasives Tournament Update. I am your host, Grant Elliott, and I am super psyched about tonight. Obviously, we're talking about Lucky and Blessed, an organization that gets all abilities out on the water to experience the beauty that we have in this region. So we're going to talk about that some, and then I'm super excited to have Captain Tom Weaver, an old friend of mine. He was, obviously doing fishing reports on my old fishing channel for quite a while, and was pretty popular with you guys. I think a lot of people enjoyed his information. He's a fantastic guide, has been on the bay for quite a long time. But before we get to any of that, let's go ahead and bring on the president of Lucky and Blessed. How are you, Scott?
Lucky and blessed, man.
Every day, lucky and blessed.
Brother.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, for those of that are watching that don't know about Lucky and Blessed, can you fill us in and tell people what they're supporting and how they can become a part and contribute to the organization?
Yeah, absolutely. And Grant, thank you for being here, for doing this. It's just what a blessing to have you as part of our team on the board, but also, it's great that we find people that have these background in these skills in different areas and that we can actually utilize them to further our nonprofit. We say we're just lucky and blessed. We just can't, there's nothing else that we can say, but I'm lucky and blessed.
Happy to be involved and honored.
Yeah. Lucky and Blessed started as basically a fishing channel about 5 years ago. Went through some hard times in my life. I found fishing, being on the water, by the water, being very therapeutic, very healing. But it wasn't just that; it was the community that I found around the angling community that was so accepting and welcoming. From the snakehead guys to the teams, to the amped up guys and the high octane guys and the Legion of Anglers guys, and really started to build community. And it gave me this sense of belonging where at a point in time in my life, and I'm going to tell you the disaster that happened was a really bad divorce. I needed community badly. So it was the fishing, it was being on the water. But I really think it was a big part of it was the community that I found that still have been just, again, great community and great friends of mine. But started as a fishing channel, Grant. And when I first started fishing, if I caught a fish, man, I'll tell you what, I was lucky. If I didn't catch a fish, I was blessed. And that's
where it kind of still like that with you.
Oh no, I'm catching all kinds of fish, man.
I know.
I just don't get out that much anymore. I think
you outfished me the last time we went, so I should just sit here and be quiet.
I don't know. It's not because I'm good. It's because I'm lucky and blessed. I'll just keep going back to that. But no. But anyways, because I am a kind of a serial entrepreneur and problem solver and a bit of a humanitarian, I wanted to use this feeling that I got from fishing. I wanted to share it. So I popped it out there on the web. We did some, website and throw it out there just to see kind of who would bite. We did some monthly fishing events just to kind of pull some local families together and start creating community. We didn't even know what we were doing. And really, here we are, like 3 years later, almost 4 years later. And it has grown to a place where we last year took over 600 adults with different abilities out fishing through our adult program. We started summer camps last year that we never did before, all ages, all abilities. We had a winter program last year that we had our folks that we fish with in the summertime. They're like, hey, we are really concerned about these folks being shut down and being inside all winter and missing your community, that friendship that we provide to them as we take them out and fish every single month. So we did, and we went out, we partnered with about a dozen, we can't say partnered with the Southern Maryland parks, but we collaborated with, and my people that hear that will snicker a little bit, but collaborated with, Jug Bay, Quiet Waters Park, Merkel Nature Center, Clearwater Nature Center, on and on and on and on, to provide nature learning for these same adults that no one ever thought to take them fishing. No one ever thought to teach them about nature. And we had no idea. We just stumbled into it because one of our park rangers was like, hey, come hang out with us in the wintertime instead of fishing. We're like, okay. And then all of a sudden, bing, the light went off. And I just started contacting all these parks. And every one of them was hungry to have us out because they've never really done anything like this. Crazy, right? So now, I mean, so we're just last year was amazing with these new programs with the camps and with the winter program that are just going to continue this year. Actually, this year we have more camps, but they're going to happen also in Anne Arundel County, where we're located, as well as south, 2 camps down in Southern Maryland. And we're also really excited about an after-school fishing program, fishing club that we are piloting at 1 school, maybe 2 in the spring, to roll out fully in the fall, because we know that the reason that these folks come back and come fishing with us, we had 600 people come out. The duplicated numbers is over 1,600. Okay, that's because those same 600 kept coming back. They kept coming back for the wellness. They kept coming back for the community and the belonging, right? So now we want to take that same feeling and make it available for school-age kids that are struggling. I mean, let's face it, these kids in middle school were COVID elementary school kids. They're now looking at their TikTok and seeing bombs blowing up in Iran before their parents even get home from work. They're seeing the news on their phones, right? These kids are already 1 in 3 have mental stress issues. Those are the statistics from like probably last year. This year, it's got to be at least half of these kids are struggling with their mental health. We want to get them off of these things unless they're taking a picture of a fish. We want to get them by the water. We want to get them with a mentor, which we have some high school students coming in to serve as mentors. All this stuff is coming together, Grant. We're really super excited, but we need support of our community. So that's why we're doing this tournament, so we can raise funds and we can go out and we can make a big change in the youth of the youth that are right here in Maryland, that we want to give them an opportunity to get on the water, by the water, and experience the same healing that why I started this thing, almost 4 years ago.
Well, that's great stuff, Scott. And I mean, it's for those of us, you, me, Tom, who's coming on in just a second. We've grown to love and appreciate the bay and our fresh water around here and the beauty of this region. It's amazing to be able to share that with, like you said, those that nobody ever thought to take fishing, and to see that healing. I mean, I know it heals me and I know it heals you. Yeah. Really quick before we bring Tom on, is Conrad coming? Is he joining us tonight?
I gave Conrad a hall pass today.
Okay.
Because he is on spring break and he's a student. And for anybody that's on here, we are all about getting our students and our student mentoring program going. And so we have a high school student from Broadneck High School who's running our tournament, but he's in Florida on spring break. So I'll be giving a little bit of an update on the tournament.
High school kid. He's pretty squared away for a high school kid, man.
He's amazing. Yeah.
So in his stead, tell us, let's see, how to register for the tournament.
Yep.
The prizes that are available and how the tournament is supporting the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I talked a little bit about how the tournament's supporting the organization already, into these programs that are really going to be focused a lot around youth, because since we're making a big hit on the adult population already. MarylandInvasives.com. Super easy, guys. MarylandInvasives.com. Or you can just go to our website, labfishing.org, or just Google Lucky and Blessed Fishing. But guys, when you go to the page, super easy. There's 2 ways that you can actually sign up. One is actually just to pay flat out for the tournament, to register for the tournament, and that's $50, a one-time fee, covers all your fees, for the tournament, and that's going to give you a code when you go register an iAngler. Once you register on our page at MarylandInvasives.com, once you register there, and then you actually will, pay there, we'll give you a coupon code that you can then put in iAngler, and then you're good to go. You're ready to go. It's catch and release. Or no, it's not catch and release, it's CPR. So, take your picture, keep it, catch it, do whatever you want to do with it. We're not really, obviously the invasives, there is a lean towards, towards keeping and towards feeding your family. Blue catfish and snakehead are both good eating and great to catch. So why put it back if you can eat it, in my opinion.
I mean,
So
both of the invasives that we're targeting are known to be very good table fare. So
yes, and super fun to catch as well. So, but yeah, so guys, really, we do. This is the second. This is the fourth time we've had this event, but the second time that we've had the fishing tournament. April is Autism Acceptance Month and Autism Awareness Month. So that's why we always do this in April. The tournament is April 1 through May 1, and it's virtual. So you can guys just hop in, and all you that are signed up for other tournaments out there, guys, all you got to do is just take our code and put it right next to the other codes, and you can be registering to win some amazing prizes that I'm going to talk about right now. We have first place coming in for the catfish is going to be a trip with Lenny from Simonizer Charters. Amazing captain, good friend of ours, has always supported us over here, them and the Hogfin guys. And so that's one of the trips. We also have Chana Chasing Outdoors, a snakehead charter that also is that's going to go for the first place snakehead, the winner of the first place. Second place is going to get Florida Fishing reel with either a Mad Cat's reel or a rod or a Tate's Custom Rods rod that was actually given to us at the show in Annapolis. So we're going to pair that with one of the Florida Fishing Products reels. And thank you, Florida Fishing Products. Shout out to you guys. Second event that you've sponsored us, and we really appreciate the beautiful products that you're sending us. It's really creating some excitement around the auction table at our event in the fall. So, and then we have third place is Chana Chasing Out, or no, is our guys from Amped Up Outdoors. I'll get it right. Channel Chad, who's going to be doing some multi-species trips for our third place winner there. Now, I think one of the best prizes, Grant, is the watch from South River Watch Company. I don't have my I have to remember to wear my South River watch. Beautiful watch. I mean, guys, these look like they could be a Rolex. I mean, they're very high quality watches, but made right here in Anne Arundel County. And the biggest stringer is going to get one of these beautiful watches. So, guys, if you come in first place, you could get a trip. You can get this beautiful watch. Also, the first and second place gets books. So I think the first place winner gets the brand new. The books from. Oh boy, blanked. I blanked.
Marshall?
Huh?
No, not C.L. Marshall. Who was it?
Sean
Kimbrough?
Yes, Sean Kimbrough. Yep. Sean Kimbrough gave us a couple signed books, and also Fish Talk magazine was great, just like they did last time, to send us some books. Then that's a brand new book series that Fish Talk has out, basically how-to books. I think one's kayak fishing and one is just fishing on the bay in general. So, guys, great prizes. And there's even more. There's, again, lure companies and bait companies that we have, lures of stuff that we're going to be giving away on these Tuesday night things. And just go to our website, because you'll see a whole list of the prizes there. And guys, there's literally thousands of dollars worth of prizes that we're giving away. And guess what? Not a whole lot of people signing up. So there's a good chance that you could win thousands of dollars worth of prizes. So let's go. Get in it.
There's not enough people watching this. We've got Tom Weaver, who's a huge source of information. If you're watching this, text a friend, tell them to hop on. Anyone who likes fishing, hop on, get some great fishing information, and support a fantastic organization. But this gentleman doesn't know it yet, but the grand prize for the tournament is you win a Tom Weaver. You just get him forever. I think his wife and his little daughter might have a problem with that, but I'm joking, of course. Tom, can you hear us, sir? Tom cannot hear us.
Uh-oh.
I can't hear you.
We can hear you.
Hey, let me try to bounce out.
We can hear you.
I'm going to try to bounce out.
Okay.
See what happens.
Is that better?
Can you hear me now?
I still can't hear you.
Okay. Drop out and come back in. Drop out, come back in. Okay. Can you hear me? One second. You know, I just told him, I kicked him out and told him to come back in. It's like everything. Back in the day, you had to, you hit it to get it to work again. Now you just turn it off and come back in.
Yeah, you reboot.
Yeah, you're old enough to know that, right?
Yeah.
But when was the last time you've been fishing, Scott? You're probably too busy to go, right?
Yeah. Last time I went fishing was with a good friend over at Salty Siren Fishing, Chuck Jones, who'll be coming on next week. I think next week. Yeah. He's back.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was just telling Scott that we're all old enough to remember that when something was broken, you just hit it on the side.
Oh, that's what that was.
Nowadays, you got to turn it off or start it over, and it seems to cure
reboot.
Everything.
So I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything for 15 minutes. So fill me in.
Oh, the whole time.
I haven't heard a thing. Don't know what you were talking about. Just like this.
Well, I was born in Columbus, Ohio, in 1962. No.
So when we brought you in, I said nobody knows this yet, but the grand prize is one Tom Weaver. You just win him, and you just sat there like this, and I was like, "Oh,
I didn't hear it.
This joke did not go well."
Woohoo! Okay, you win. You win. It fell flat. Yeah, I wasn't hearing anything.
I was like, that didn't work. How you been, Tom? It's been a while.
Yeah. Very good. Been good. It has been a while.
Is your daughter taller than you yet?
Not quite, but they're getting there. She's smarter than me, that's for sure.
That's how it happens. And you've been showing her how to fish, which is really cool. I've been seeing that on Facebook.
Yeah, she loves to fish. Yeah, she loves to fish. Yeah.
Speaking of fishing, yes, this is an Invasives tournament update, but we're going to kind of detour because I think you've probably caught some catfish before, but I don't think you're a snakehead angler. Am I correct in that?
I mean, I catch them occasionally as a bycatch per se when I'm trying for pickerel, but not recently. It's interesting. Back in 4 or 5 years ago, I'd regularly come across a snakehead or two, but I haven't seen them recently. There's various reasons I think for that.
Well, I guess what I was getting at is we're going to kind of take a detour tonight and dive into your bread and butter, which I would say is the striped bass. I think it's probably a little too early to talk about redfish, specks, and etc. So I think we'll dive into the striped bass fishery on the bay. How's that been treating you recently? Has that been the main thing you've been targeting?
Yes, I mean striped bass for I'm a full-time fishing guide, and so striped bass is my bread and butter year round. I mean, anything else is bonus or whatever. Right now, we're entering this sort of golden age of winter striped bass fishing. So from mid-December to mid-late April. There's a lot of big striped bass, and it's all catch and release, and so the fishery itself is incredible. The stock of large fish in that sort of 38-40 inch plus fish is now recovered to almost what it was in 1990 when the stock was declared recovered after the last moratorium. So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of those big fish. And we're seeing that, and so that's what the fishery is based on for the winter. The now, unfortunate side, the other side of that is that we've just had a succession of 7 years of terrible spawn events. And so there's not a lot of little fish. And I mean, and we see that too. So there's not a lot of little fish. So the summertime, we typically shift our focus a little more onto the red drum, the bluefish, the speckled trout, and the Spanish mackerel, which we didn't see last year.
Yeah, I haven't
Perch,
seen those good for a few years, have we?
right? And it's ebbs and flows. All of this stuff is ebbs and flows. You know, the bluefish have come back and they're bigger and better than ever. Red puppy drum weren't so much last year. Red drum stayed a little further south. We got a few, and late actually. The good red drum bite was all the way into November. Cobia. I mean, we had a banner cobia, you know, late September this year, up our way. An hour way, I mean Annapolis. Not quite up to Annapolis, but around Poplar Island. And so yeah, so striped bass is my thing. It's basically right now it's world class. It's a world class fishery, and we're going to have this for at least 5 years, and we just got to keep our fingers crossed for a successful spawn, and then life can go on and we can all take a deep breath.
So you say that, you know, you're talking about this world-class fishery that we have for winter striped bass fishing, and I've been lucky enough to experience that really all of the last several years. But you know, that time period, you know, we're now sort of officially into spring, and the weather's warming up. You know, I know you were out in the water today. Are you still seeing some of those larger fish, or have they left for the most part?
Oh no, we got big fish today. That's pretty much all I'm getting, and it's just starting. This year's very late. This isn't what we all got used to these warm winters for the past 5 or 6 years and got soft, you know, and we had a proper winter this year, and you know, there's not the fish haven't the bait showed up in quote my area, and I'm going to say Poplar Island, Eastern Bay. Bait showed up here 4 days ago. We haven't had the bait, so no bait, no fish. The fish have been passing through, but hard to intercept them without bait. It's just getting going. The water just started getting into good temperatures, and so we're going to have this striped bass run, for want of a better word, until second week of May. So what would normally in the past 4 or 5 years, we've had them early March to middle of April. Now I'm saying literally, I've just started. I caught my first big ones up this way, you know, 4 or 5 days ago. I'd been traveling south until then.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I mean, yes, we had a different winter this year, but one thing I've noticed is regardless of the weather, it seems like the cooler water run is later every single year. It used to be called Rocktober, right? And then it kind of turned into Rockvember and Rocksember and then Rockuary. Now, have you noticed sort of the same trend, Tom?
Well, we had a unique year this year. I mean, I'm old. I'm probably older than both of you. And back in the 90s, you know, we would have, you know, mid-November, early to mid-November would be the 40-pound rockfish in the Chesapeake Bay. Early to mid-November, you know, and in fact, Fish for a Cure on the early days of the Fish for a Cure, which is the first weekend in November, was always won by a 35, 40-pound fish, you know, and that's just, we haven't had that for years. And recently, and then this winter was unique. We had a snowstorm and ice event in the first week of December. And Eastern Bay and around Annapolis area was full of bait. Well, that ice event just pushed the bait straight out, you know, far south as you can get, and it went down to outside the Patuxent, and the bait left, gone. I mean, not one stitch of bait. And so when the rockfish turned the corner, which they do in typically mid-December-ish, they ran into the bait outside the Patuxent instead of outside Eastern Bay, where they have for the past 4 or 5 years. Again, we got really cozy and comfortable on these warm, mild winters, and the fish hanging around in the Eastern Bay pretty much the whole winter. This year was different. It was a bit more like old-fashioned days, you know.
Well, for me, I mean, I just kind of got over, like, got over being on the water when it was freezing cold. So the fact that it's a little bit later this year is okay.
Oh, it's. I mean, I fished 28 days straight from December the 28th to January the 26th, and I mean, and it was cold. It was really cold, but the fishing was on fire. However, the March, then February took February off this year because it was frozen solid. No pickerel fishing, no rock fishing. Just put the boat up, and I took the whole month off. Threw the boat back in the water early March, and I've probably got 6 or 7 trips in total because the weather's sucked. I mean, now, and even now, it's warmed up, but it's windy and it's southerly and it's tough.
Yeah, I tell everyone that's not really a water person when they're like, "Well, aren't you fishing now that the weather's warming up?" And the answer is, yeah, I'm going to be fishing a lot more. But nobody seems to understand that when it's 75 degrees on shore, if we're still in March,
it's 45-degree water. At the moment, it's just got the bay. Today was the first day it went through 50 in the middle of the bay.
Yeah. So that air right off the bay, especially if there's a little wind, you're going to freeze your butt off if you go out there.
I mean, I am hand warmers and woolly hats, and that was today.
Yeah. Is that something that you ever struggle with your clients this time of year, or do you just give them fair warning?
You've been to my shop and you know where I leave from, and I have 6 pairs of outer gear. I have extra boots. I have all that stuff, and they show up in sweatpants or shorts and Crocs and socks, and I'm like, come into my office, young man, and let me get. Well, I don't need all of that. I'm like, just put all this on, and don't fight me, because they fight their dad and they fight their uncle, but they don't fight me.
I'll tell you what, I can't just sit back and laugh at these people, because when I first moved to the Bay, about, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago now, I definitely made that mistake several times. I mean,
this morning I've got some clients coming later in the week, I think Friday, and they said, we're newbies, what do we need to wear and bring? And there's nothing on your website. I said, on the contact me page underneath is a video. That video I shot about 7 or 8 years ago was 3 17-year-old boys who showed up in late November in Crocs, socks, shorts, and T-shirts at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And Dad and I were bundled up to the high heavens. And those 3 17-year-old boys were up in my forepeak, snuggling until about noon, when it actually got to 65, 70 degrees as forecast.
Well, I mean, if it's 65, 75 degrees on shore, it probably.
But even November, the water's still warm. It was just that the air temperature,
right.
What I mean. But the Dad and I were bundled up. They didn't want to hear it. So we said, all right, you'll figure it out.
So Tommy's saying Mr. Weaver must be from the GB. What's he talking about? Great Britain?
Great Britain. No, New Zealand.
Yeah, I was about to say he's not. But I guess.
Or the greater Boston area, I think he was referring to.
If you put a question mark, UK. No, he thought you were from UK. If you put a question mark on that, you might be eligible for question of the night. Scott, are we doing that if we get enough questions? Sure.
Yeah.
We'll drum up something.
We got stuff.
So we, a lot of people that are logging in are going to be interested in the invasives, but I know the invasives guys, the people that are going to be targeting snakehead, also spend a lot of time targeting pickerel, right? It's kind of like the cold water snakehead, although snakeheads are. Tommy wants to know where you're from. He's going hard. Where are you from?
I'm from New Zealand. Yeah.
Where in New Zealand?
Christchurch, just outside Christchurch.
So pickerel, how was that this year? How was that season?
Terrible. It was the weirdest. Again, it's just each year's different, and fall was not bad. I didn't do a lot of pickerel fishing in the fall. And I typically, as soon as the rockfish sort of slows down, I start pickerel fishing, and so that's normally mid-January or whatever. But January I was hot on the striped bass, and then February froze solid, so I owed a bunch of people pickerel trips. So March 1 to March 15th, I booked up, and And out we went, and I did 3 or 4 trips and caught very, very few pickerel, a lot of skunks, and didn't see many fish. And so I canceled the rest. There's no fish. They just my theory, I think, is I don't think the pickerel have a problem with that super cold because they catch them in Michigan through holes in the ice. I'm not sure about the bait, and I think the bait might have got either displaced or killed by the cold. And so they had no food, so they've moved. And I've searched everywhere that I normally searched. I've searched places that I wouldn't normally look, and I got a couple. Really, literally, not what we were used to in the Severn River.
I was about to say, was there a river that was better? I know that they're in the Magathie.
No, Magathie terrible. I mean, all the rivers were terrible, and I heard even the pond guys, it's been extremely slow, so we just don't know what happened. And it sort of seems to be a bit of a, because nobody's gone, oh, I just had an epic day on pickerel. Even in the reservoirs and the mill ponds, get a couple, but they're not getting what we should normally get in March, particularly, which is spawning time.
Michael asked, I'm thinking he's asking about New Zealand. Michael, if I'm wrong on this, correct me, but he's asking, is the fishing a little different there than here?
Yes. I mean, we have got offshore, we've got rivers, and we've got coastal. Actually, it's not really. I mean, if you compare what Maryland's got, we've got, New Zealand's got incredible wild trout fishing, and Maryland's got some blue ribbon trout streams. They're very good trout streams. Chesapeake Bay, we've got lots of bays, up in the north, we've got, all the bays of Bay of Islands and all that. And that's their standard inshore fish is the snapper, which would probably be somewhat similar to a rockfish, and the kawai, and then the kingfish, which would probably be more like a bluefish, or they're big, but snappy, And then offshore we got the marlins and tunas, and we've kind of got that out of Maryland. So, it's a lot less people, so it's a lot less crowded. But yeah, it's different but the same.
One thing that I know about you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that sets Fish with Weaver apart from a lot of the other guides on the bay is you're a big time fly guy.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yes. I 30+% of my trips of fly fishing, I spend a lot of my time in 2 to 5 feet of water. A lot of outstanding fly fishermen, and more coming from around the country to enjoy our world-class striped bass fishery. They come here in the winter. We can see these fish. The water's gin clear. Sight casting to big cruising striped bass, and it's a challenge. Getting one to turn and bite, and then once you've got it, you've got to deal with that. So I keep emphasizing to everybody that our striped bass fishery is world class, and people are coming from all over the country, and even occasionally from overseas.
I've now spent probably a month and a half total fishing in Florida for the last 5 or 6 years. Some of it with guides, and man, our fishery, to me, granted, I know it a lot better, but to me, I don't know how many other places you can go and catch on a good day. You're catching 20 to 25 fish that are over 35 inches.
I did 15 years guiding in the Keys in the winters. So I'm out of Key West for 15 years from November to March. And when I finished that, actually, I finished it right before COVID, as it just turned out. I was packing it in. My daughter was 2, and I couldn't take off that much time. And so I had a great run, enjoyed it. And in that 15 years, I'd fished there since the late 80s and very early 90s. I'd fished in the Keys. And then when I finished there down in 2020, it was not the fishery that it used to be. And I tell everybody, fishing in the Chesapeake Bay is better than fishing in Key West. It's just not promoted correctly.
Here. Yeah. So if anybody watching is a fly fisherman, or Tom, you're not going to, your goal is not to teach people to fly fish, right? They need to have at least sort of a baseline
So I have one of my colleagues is a certified expert fly instructor right here in Annapolis. So if if it's kind of local, it's easy and super easy to get along with. And was that
What's his name?
Joe Evans?
Joe Evans. I'll put that in the chat.
So Joe Evans is a licensed Maryland guide, and he's a certified fly casting instructor. And so you'll go see him for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then maybe go back and see him 2 weeks later. He sends you away with some homework to do, comes back, tweaks at this, that, and the other, and then you can go fish with him or fish with me afterwards. And but I need I try to explain, and I've been caught out a couple of times when people say, "Oh, I want to go fly." They're very convinced that we're coming fly fishing, booking a fly trip, blah blah blah. Okay, and you get out there and you hand them the fly rod. They're like, which end is up, and you're like, oh no, you just assumed that the guy, because the way he was so convicted, so much conviction that he knew what he was doing. And so now you've got a very expensive fly casting lesson in a corner of some random place where you're not going to catch a fish because you can't get the line close enough to where they need to be. So having some proficiency, and it's not difficult. It's not. My daughter's 8 and she's an outstanding fly caster,
Yep.
it's not difficult, and it's like any of these things, a little bit of solid instruction early, back out in the backyard or a baseball field or a football field, and then a bit of YouTube, and then you should be perfectly proficient to catch anything out here in Chesapeake Bay.
And once you get proficient, you've got a very good chance to catch a very large fish on the fly. Can you sort of walk us through your approach to that? Are you using floating flies? Are they more, I don't know, what would you call them? Wet flies?
Yeah, I mean, my setups, just because it's easy. I'm a charter captain. I restrict all my base stuff to 2 weights, which is 9 weight and 6 weight, and typically the 6 weight, it's the pickerel and things like that. But if we're going after rockfish of any size, I'm using 9 weights, and that's got nothing to do with the size of the fish we're trying to catch. It's the size of the fly. So you need a decent, reasonably heavy rod to deliver a fly in any sort of wind, and they're big flies. I mean, these fish eat big baits. So then the next strategy is where we're fishing. Are we fishing in 2 feet of water? Are we fishing in 5-6 feet of water? Or are we fishing in 15-20 feet of water? So I have different setups for each one. That's just the reels. The rods are all the same. And on each reel, I'll have different weight lines. And so we'll have floating line, and then an intermediate, which is triple densities, and I'll have different rates of sink. So I might have 2 or 3 of those reels in my box, and then some heavy sink lines. My flies, I tie all my own flies now, and I have some with a little bit of lead wrap on them. Some have eyes and dumbbells, and some have 0 weight on them at all. And interestingly, there's oftentimes we'll catch more fish with a fly because it's got no weight and it suspends than any jig that you can use.
Got a couple of questions coming in, but I do want to get at least the story of I'm not sure this is what we have to get into, the world record redfish on the fly, but I'll leave that as a teaser for people that was caught on Captain Weaver's boat. Michael Hoffman says, what's your biggest rockfish?
Mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, personally, in recent years, 49 inches. Yeah,
and that's yours, or is that one you caught, or
no? I've back in the day trolling and things. I've got some 52s and stuff, but my personal biggest is 49. Legit 49. Can't call it a 50.
Right,
only things over 50 I've caught have been redfish. I've caught some over 50s, but not rockfish.
Nothing like catching those big fish, man.
Yeah.
Anything like a 50-inch rockfish now is almost like stuff of, is like mythical, right?
And I mean, I put every single one of those fish on a tape, take a picture of it, and send it to the DNR to get a certificate from a client. So it's laid over. It's not a tape stretched over the top. I've got my ruler on the floor. I found out I actually put a ruler on that ruler. I put a tape measure on that ruler. It's a C-deck ruler. It's about almost 3/4 of an inch shy. It's short.
Oh, sea deck. Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
and
sea deck.
you'd think they should have stretched it a bit. It's short. I'm like, oh my God.
At least
So
check it.
we might have had some 50s. Who knows? But they've all been called 49s.
I mean, that's a lot when
Oh, I mean, I did it. I mean, I've had that ruler for years, and then I put a tape measure on it. I'm like, at 50 inches, on the C deck 50 is 49 1/4 on a tape measure.
I wonder if the sea deck shrinks.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's the wrong direction. I need, this is like for ego, man. It should be the other
Go
way,
better.
right?
It can expand when it gets wet.
That's
yeah,
right.
right. Guys, somebody else, Ryan, ask questions. Michael Hoffman's going to win the prize just by default if you guys don't start bringing them. Michael also asked, if you catch a rock on the fly, is it a little bit of a different fight?
Yes. So there's several things going on. I mean, it's the most interesting part is most people think they immediately want to get their the fish onto the reel. You've got a pile of line you've cast, you've stripped in. So now you've got a pile of line at your feet. You got to manage your line, not get tangles in it, etc. When you set the hook on a rockfish with a fly, you do it with your hand. It's like catching it with a hand line. It's just such a thrill because the bite compared to a jigging bite, which is also exciting, but the rockfish, the fly caught one is amazing. Either if they're big enough, they'll put themselves on the reel, and if they're not big enough, don't bother putting on the reel. Just pull it in. Once it gets onto the reel, though, when it gets going, it's going to take off, spin out, and then start ring. So now you've got a fish with a 10-foot rod, super whippy, so you've got to use less of the rod and lose the backbone in the lower half of the rod. Use your reel, and your reel doesn't have an automatic. If it's pulling hard, you've got to let that go. You're the drag. It has drag when you let it go, but if you're winding, it's not auto drag. So you got to judge that for yourself. In the IGFA. IGFA fly fishing rules, the maximum tippet you can use is 20 pounds, and we often mostly use 16 pounds. So even if you're fighting 40-pound fish, you're on a 16 or 20 pound tippet. And so it's a lot lighter line. And it's different, but it's fun.
So I have a question. Did you have an angler last year, Kate Barron Miles?
Yes.
She holds some world records. She's my
neighbor. So Kate's fished with me many, many times,
yep.
And she holds a lot of smallie. And we tried to break the women's 8-pound test striped bass world record about 3 winters ago. And she just, just couldn't. They were there, and we were in 3 feet of water, and they were the right size fish. But Kate's fished with me plenty of times. She's wonderful, Air Force girl.
Yeah, and she's caught some amazing fish.
So she owns.
Around the corner from me, man.
She owns
last year.
The women's world records. She owns probably half the smallmouth world records and half the brown trout world records in the world.
That's amazing. Yeah, yeah. I met her on a fishing chat, a fishing group. I'm like, hey, wait, you live where? If she was like around the corner, and then
she fished with me once a month for many years.
Oh, that's great.
Fishing is one of those things where I question. I'm like, why do they need a women's division? Like, there's no reason why a woman couldn't be just as good of an angler as any man. I mean,
Kate, put a fly rod in Kate's.
Oh, she's great. Yeah.
We do have a lot of questions coming in, but I want to be selfish. Because I don't know the end of the story. I don't think I'm not as old as you, Tom, but I am not a young man anymore. So my memory is not that great. 2 years ago, I believe, a client of yours hooked the largest redfish.
Oh, that was recorded
on a fly rod.
That was a few years ago. That was probably 4 or 5. On the red drum one, that was maybe 4 years ago now. I think you were out that day, weren't you? Were you down there with us?
Yeah.
And
got a good memory. You remember the people on your boat. You remember the people.
Well, so I remember the
saw it.
whole thing.
I saw the guy doubled over. Yeah.
We got that red drum and it took off, and he was patient, crazy bite when it happened. And he got a bite and he said, I'm not hooked. It's not a good hook set. It's not a good hook set. He knew it wasn't good because it was coming towards him. So what do I do? I said, well, it is what it is. I mean, you got to deal with what you've got. And then 30 seconds later it pulled off. And he goes, now what do I do? I said, cast again. He said, where? I'm like, anywhere. Look, there's fish everywhere. So he cast again, and I watched 5 fish come around the corner of the front of the boat, and one of them peeled off and grabbed it going the right direction. So he had fantastic hook set. And then, we got into the backing, and that was a fair, good old tug of war. But, submitted everything, got everything, and certainly broke the world record. With the record's been broken since, but that was still bigger than what the current world record is. And the line over tested, that 20-pound line. Mm-hmm. Well, we used 20-pound line. And the problem, if you go buy 20-pound line off the shelf, it breaks at about 24, 25 pounds. So when you send all that stuff in to get analyzed for the world record, they break test it 3 times, and it broke over 20 pounds. So the record was disqualified. Even though our line on the reel says 20 pounds because it was off the shelf. I only use Andy Tournament now, which is certified world record class line. It's not even fluoro. They only do it in mono. And so whenever we're even thinking that we might have a world record opportunity, we use one of those lines.
And do you think, a competent angler could catch that fish just as easily?
In that circumstance, in that circumstance, it wouldn't have made a difference. The difference being, of course, is that gill plates and gill rakers, and if it rolls on the line, the lighter the line, the much more chance of them directly snapping 20 pound is pretty hard. And but you try to break 20, that's you got to put some heat on one of those fish to break it. Now, down in the Keys, for instance, there's this big debate between, all the old school guides fish IGFA legal, i.e. 20 pound. A lot of the new guys like to fish 80 pound or 100 pound so they can horse the fish in and get it in. And the reason being sharks. Now, the problem with if you've got it on 80 and a shark comes, you can't break that off. But if you got it on 20 and a shark comes, you can just point the rod at it, pop the line, and the fish can escape from the shark. So that's a big debate on top, and we don't have that issue up here.
Yeah, that's a good point. What do you do? If you get sharked, you
just don't want to lose the fish. So these big hammerheads come up on the flat. You see it. Now, if you've got 80 and that fish freaks out and takes off, you can't break it. You just can't break it off. So now it's going to get sharked. But if you got 20, you can break it off and the fish can get away. The theory being with 80, you can horse it in and try release it. But more often than not, the shark will get it before you do.
So with a spinning rod, you just grab your bail and shut it out.
Pop it. Yeah.
If you got a fly rod,
you could do the same. You can do the same, but the big problem with the fly rod is the fly line, and the fly line is like a rubber band. It is stretchy as all heck. So when you've got a lot of fly line, if we got a 100-foot cast, which is a very exceptional cast, but even a 40 or 50-foot cast, and you've got a fish out there at 40, 50 foot, you have to strip set it for saltwater fish. So the trout and everything, you trout set, you lift the rod. Right. You got a strip set, but you got to set that hard because you got a bungee cord between you and that hook. And that's part of the problem. So with 80 pounds, you're never breaking 80-pound line. You're just not breaking it.
So Tommy made a statement. He's got another question, but he's got a statement that I'm going to sort of submit for a question because it's a thought-provoking statement, and I'm going to make it a question because I want to see how you feel about it. But it says, I'm a firm believer that there has been a huge tilt on our ecosystem. Less rockfish, perch, and the usual migrating species. Now we have redfish, northern snakehead, blue catfish that have become the norm. And then he follows it up with, don't fear it, but embrace it. What are your thoughts on that, Tom?
So the rockfish and the perch are an very similar species. They're species that are very much the same. They come into the Chesapeake Bay in the spring. They run up into the freshwater tributaries and they spawn, and then their eggs develop here, and when they grow up, and if a successful spawn, we have future generations. So there goes the rockfish, there goes the perch, because they're exactly the same. So with 7 years of bad rockfish spawn, we've also got 7 years of bad perch spawn. Now, unfortunately, a perch lifespan of a perch is about 7 years. So we're getting pretty critical on perch, white perch, which were the most abundant fish you could imagine 10 years ago. So we need a good spawn year. And if we have a good rockfish spawn, pretty much we'll have a good perch spawn. The redfish is completely the opposite. They go off the continental shelf to spawn, and then they come back in. So all those puppy drum, they're not spawning in here, they're spawning out there. And so they're a completely different species. Last year, I did not see an abundance of puppy drum like a few years ago. Honestly, snakeheads I'm just seeing less because I actually don't typically target them. I'm not going into Blackwater, but I understand in my river and certain rivers is that the bow hunters are doing a really good, because I have a lot of friends of mine who are sort of trophy anglers for snake hunters, and they're bemoaning the fact that the bow hunter guys are cleaning out the rivers. So good for cleaning out the rivers, but those guys would rather have big snakeheads to target. Blue catfish is a whole other story. There's not, I mean, what, I'm never even sure what to believe, but it's whatever it is, it's bad. However, the interesting story, and as one of the guides in the Light Tiger Guides Association, who's a Potomac fisheries guide, and he's been fishing the Potomac forever. They've had blue catfish in there forever. They've also got walleye, they've got perch, they've got rockfish. He believes that once the population reaches a stable system, he doesn't think it gets any more out of control. And he's a trophy catfish hunter, and he will let them all go. Because he doesn't believe in killing, because that's what he sells his clients is on these giant, 80-pound catfish. So it ebbs and flows. I mean, we need a good spawn for rockfish and perch, which are very, very particular to the Chesapeake Bay. Global warming might be bringing in the red drum and the we all remember, back in the sort of 90s, it was weakfish. I mean, oh my God, go out and catch 20 weakfish in the evening, like, 24-inch weakfish would be fantastic, Can't find them. Croaker disappeared. They're coming back. I'm seeing a lot of small croaker. And, ebbs and flows.
Tommy Robinson also has a question. What's your take on carp? I know they don't get much love in your country or here in the U.S.
I mean, those are the ones that jump up and hit you in the boat, or the regular ones we see here. I don't catch many carp. I don't use any bait, and I snag a couple every now and again. I don't know much about them. I don't know if they're overtaking any areas. I don't hear of them as a threat to anything. And most people go, "Oh my God, what's all this going on in the top of my creek? Is that rockfish? Is that this?" No, it's a carp spawn. But yeah.
Tom, I know Tommy's a big carp guy. He's got a lot of great.
Yeah, we need to have Tommy on and the Amped Up Outdoors guys to do a carp show.
Yeah, he came on the Fishing Channel one time and gave us a whole carp tutorial. Gave us a lot of great information. Austin, we're going to bring you in just a second.
Yeah,
just trying to catch up on a few questions.
A little thing about Tommy. When I first started, I talked about my journey. When I first started kayak fishing and for my mental wellness, I go out to this boat ramp out on the eastern shore, and there's Tommy loading up his kayak with a big old motor on it. And I'm like, what is that? I had my crappy little like Kmart kayak, I felt like I was going to fall over every time I moved in it. And he comes out with this big old kayak, and I'm like, fanboy. And I'm like, I want to be you when I grow up, and but the nicest guy's like, hey, we have a community, we have tournaments. I'm like, tournaments? I've never even caught a fish. What are you talking about? But what a great guy. And how crazy is it now that like 5 years later, Amped Up Outdoors does events with all the time. It's
Yeah.
just one of these crazy kismet, lucky and blessed things, man.
Yeah, we've
So,
got a great
Tommy,
community.
thanks for stepping out and meeting me and greeting me and being a real human being that day, because that showed me a lot about this angling community.
And Tommy is a really great person. I've gotten to meet him several times, and
he likes good music.
Just has a great energy about him. Ryan, the winner of question of the week last week. So I'm not saying I'm rooting against him, but he says, I fish regular. I do like the question, I got to admit. I fish regularly in shallow water grass flats around the islands. He's a big Eastern Shore, lower Eastern Shore guy. Would it be a mess trying to fly fish around all the grass?
No, not at all. No. I mean, it depends on your setup, depends on the depth. If you're going to fish up, we fish weedless flies. I tie a fly with a little piece of mono in front of it. Floating line, no weight on the fly. Poppers, I use a lot of top water flies, particularly in the summer. So they'll jump on a little lefty popper. They'll come up and eat a popper. And then if you just probably floating line, you're not dragging it through the grass. Yeah.
And then we got one more question. Austin has been very patient waiting. I apologize. He says, let's see. Yeah. Michael asked, what's your favorite fish to catch on a fly rod? Oh, wait, there's other questions, but we might just have to push those off too. So, and maybe Austin can jump in on some of these questions.
I haven't been monitoring very well. I've been drinking beer instead.
Everybody asks me, and I go rockfish. It's like I've fished all over the world, done all sorts of things. Sure, there's cool fish to catch, but on my day-to-day basis, fooling a good rockfish or turning a rockfish in clear water, all the rest of it, they're willing to eat, which is one thing. So rockfish to me is still my favorite fish.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many things. Like for me, the fall fish and how hard they fight.
I mean, you can have a bonefish or a permit, and because they're permit particularly because they're extraordinarily hard to catch. Permit because they just blister fun, tarpon, they jump all over the place. All these are like legendary fly catching fish. But rockfish, man, I mean, when I got like rockfish bite on and I can catch 10 in a row, I mean, oh my God, it's awesome,
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and bring in Austin from China Chasing Outdoors. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
So tell us about yourself. I think we normally, when we introduce people on this for the first time, just sort of tell us about yourself, how you got into fishing, and then let's talk about China Chasing Outdoors. How you started that, and what's the passion behind that?
Sounds good. So I'm Austin Kreischer. I'm the owner of China Chasing Outdoors. I'm an avid snakehead angler. I used to be more of a freshwater angler back growing up. That's kind of what got me started into fishing, was freshwater bass fishing. Just doing a little bit of creek fishing, pond hopping back in the day, growing up in Georgia. Then I moved up to Maryland and go dogs, go dogs. But then I moved up to Maryland because my dad's job, and we ended up getting to do a little bit more of both. I was still more on the freshwater side than anything, just because I never really had the boats to get out onto the bay and feel comfortable when I was that young. So I stuck to more of the rivers. But now I used to do epoxy floors, and I got tired of doing that. So I took the jump and I said, let's get people out on these fish. And those fish are snakehead, and they're one fish that I end up loving and have a passion about now. I spend thousands of hours with them now, trying to target for them. But and then I also get people out on guided tours for them on kayaks, which is one thing that I love. It's awesome seeing people, get out there on their first snakehead, especially if someone's a little newer to angling and everything and fishing, getting them out. And one of my favorite things is getting them on the top water bite, teaching them how to work a frog and showing them the ways. And then once they finally get to see that first blow up and experience it and they land that fish, just the excitement that comes from them really drives me to keep on doing it. um, I mean, I fell in love with these fish, so my goal at the end of the day is just to get as many people to love these fish just as much as I do, and realize that I don't think they're as bad as what everybody pointed them out to be 20 years ago when they first got here. And I mean, some people still feel that way, but I honestly don't feel they're as bad as what everybody says. Um, yes, they're territorial. Yes, they're an aggressive fish, but I mean, any fish is almost that way. You get a bigger fish, it's going to eat a smaller fish. So I've had snakeheads follow my frogs when I'm throwing them 25, 35 yards across a whole river, and then they look right up at you and they pretty much just give you a little wink and tell you goodbye and just smile at you almost. So, I mean,
Snake
they're
head
very
fishing.
smart. They've gotten very adaptive. I mean, to where they're at and everything now. I will say the bow fishing has definitely put a hurting on the numbers, and some of the waterways, you can tell the effect from them. There's some waterways around this bay where you used to go there 5 years ago and you could go out and catch 15, 20 snakeheads, and some be some great size to them. And now you go out and you struggle to go find a fish some days and you're just watching it. But there's a lot of other things that come into play. So I'm not going to say it's all bow fishermen or anything like that. But man, they're an awesome fish. I really do love them. I mean, you can't beat the top water bite from them, I will say. But
Yeah, that
for
pop.
this, yeah, that pop is awesome. I mean, it gets the blood going for me.
Well,
It brings you back.
Sorry, go ahead, Scott.
No, I was saying that's what brings you back is that pop.
Oh yeah.
So I like to sort of bring worlds together, and I don't think that Tom has done a lot of snakehead fishing for
Okay.
on the fly. So, Tom, are you okay playing a little game with us?
Sure, always.
All right. So, Austin, do you target snakehead with the fly rod?
I've never done that. To be
All right.
honest with you, I have no experience with fly rod
All
whatsoever.
right. This is going to be good.
Okay.
All right. So, Tom, knowing what you know about snakehead fishing, if you had to go target snakehead with a fly rod, what would you do without any knowledge?
I mean, there's one fly, and obviously they're all the top waters and frog patterns, and we in fly fishing we use very good mouse patterns and stuff, which you cast up on the bank and pop the mouse off. It has the tail. They're super realistic. They're pretty cool. But there's a fly that's tied by Joe Bruce that Joe Bruce invented years and years ago, and he's a pickerel snakehead type of guy, and it's the crab clouser. And it's like got dun color and white and this copper flash in it with a red head. I think if I was given one fly to go catch snakehead, I'd use that. And then interestingly, anything I've caught, anytime I catch a snakehead, it's when I'm targeting pickerel, and it's something similar to that.
All right. So the goal of this, right? I'm going to ask Tom a couple of more questions, and then Austin, you have to be honest, and you have to say if that is a good strategy. Okay.
So let me just point out, a clouser, I would fish under a floating line, but it's weighted. It's slightly weighted, and it represents basically a bull minnow of some sort, with some copper flash in it. That's what a clouser is. So.
Okay.
So if you were to cast the clouser into, I can't tell you that either. All right.
Well, I would cast it into, if I could get either into fry balls or up into some duck pond lilies and up around some lilies, great. Yeah, but that obviously, if I could get into that area.
Got it. And now this clouser, how fast does it sink? Is it just sort of like surface and then it sinks slowly? Is it sort of subsurface?
I mean, it will sink, but I mean, it depends how fast you strip it back. It's not a top water fly at all. It will sink, but you can put different size. The eyes are just basically a little dumbbell. It doesn't dive, and with a floating line, it's not going to sink. It's not going to get dragged down. So you'd cast it out. You have about a 9-foot leader on it, clear leader, and then just pop it back really slowly. Pop, stop, pop, stop, pop, stop.
All right. So let's summarize the details. You're talking about, and what weight fly rod? Is it a pretty light rod?
Well, with snakeheads, I mean, you could cast it with a 6-weight, which is my pickerel. I would probably go 9-weight. I would use my 9-weight rod.
Okay. So it's a clouser. And what color did you say that was again?
So it's what they call olive over white, and with a bright copper flash. It's got some copper flash in it, with a red head.
Mimics a bull minnow really well, right? Okay, so we've got a clouser that mimics a bull minnow. You're going to cast it towards pads and fry balls. and it's has a slow sink to it, and you just pop it along, right? I
Yep.
think I know enough, but I'm going to let the expert talk about it. Is that an effective strategy?
He's getting slammed with that. That's something I've never done, so I can't say it's effective for myself. But for him, the way he's experienced, I think he's got the handle on it. Where if he was throwing over some lily pads, he knows how to way to work that. That would definitely do the job. Anything to represent something like a bull minnow, any bait fish, or a frog, mouse, anything like that are definitely going to do the job for you. Today, I was out all day, sunrise, sunset, and I fought the wind off, and I'm stubborn, so I throw top water 95% of the time, right as I see it turn on, or when I think it does, and I get my first bite. But what really worked for me today for them was the white mouse. So with Tom saying how he likes the mouse kind of style stuff, that's something that works great. I mean, you really can't go wrong with them. So
we're a little bit over time. We do have one or two more questions.
okay.
But I want to see if we can play this game backwards. Austin, what's your experience with catching rockfish on the open bay?
Oh, not much. I'm back in the tributary still for them in the rivers.
All right, so let's put you on. I don't know, Tom. What's a good spot? Let's go Poplar Island. Okay, so Poplar Island has a bunch of rocks. It's a man-made island. It's surrounded by rocks. It's about
8 feet.
What's that?
8 feet all the way around.
All the way around, and it drops.
Okay.
Once you back off of it, it drops down to about 15, and then to 20. About say 100 feet offshore, 150 feet offshore, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. So see, this gets a little bit more tricky. So let's say we're in May, right? There's lots of 20 to 25 inch rockfish. What is your approach going to be?
I'd say a paddle tail, to be honest, with a jig head, and just start casting towards those rocks, working it down off the ledge, and
What
hoping
color
for a
is
strike.
your paddle tail?
Oh, I know chartreuse and white usually did pretty well for me, so I'd probably go with a chartreuse or white, or just a plain chartreuse. Now I've never done this concept, but I've seen it work all on videos and stuff. But they take that PVC tubing and they make it almost look like an eel, and they troll with the hook out the back of that pipe. And I've always been real interested to try that out. I don't know when the right time for that is. The salt water is really not me, but I would probably go paddle tail and just try to start casting towards those drop offs, working it up. I mean, if you have to, do some slow jigging right there over by where it drops off and just kind of play it by there. But I'd want to look for some current. I know that.
Okay. So before I pass this over to Tom, one critical thing. What's the weight of that jig head?
Oh, that's a good question.
Gotta
See,
pick
I really
something.
I don't throw much over like a 3/4 of an ounce, really.
Think
That's
shallow.
usually what I keep.
Well, that's
So.
yeah, that's heavy. But
Like 8 feet all the way around.
Oh, so you don't need much. Half ounce at most.
All right. What say you, Tom?
Pretty good. I mean, that's the backup. I'm throwing a top water all day long, but I mean, throwing a 6-inch spook right up in there all day long. Spook, top
Okay.
water. But the paddle tail thing, I mean, you've got a couple of issues. You've got, structure to worry about getting snagged on.
Right.
3/8, but everything's 3/8 ounce, 4-inch paddle tail at that time of year. Chartreuse. That's all I have on my boat. But yes, you're right there. Yeah.
A paddle tail, super versatile bait for
4-inch paddle tail and a 3/8 ounce jig head. Yeah,
for
Sweet.
sure.
Yeah.
I've done really well in that spot. With top water, either at dusk or in the morning, but also with a 4-inch jerk bait.
Huh.
Yep.
Done great at
Yep.
Pablo.
Yeah, jerk baits for sure. I mean, don't discount the top water at any time of day. People tend to put it away too early. If an area hasn't been fished that day, you've got plenty of chance on the top water. If it's already been fished, then you don't stand much chance on top water.
Scott,
Okay.
you got anything to add about
Yeah, so Poplar
Island?
Island, that's where Kathy caught her first rockfish, throwing a
awesome.
3/8 go-to GI jig with a beer run,
R.I.P. Lonnie,
beer
yeah.
run minnow, my favorite. That's my favorite combination right there. The go-to that you like yellow and pink or whatever, orange and yellow, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever color it is. That's my go-to. It's called go-to. Yeah, and just really when you're doing that, 3/8 typically, because it's gonna, you want a slow drop because it's shallow. But what you do is you really go right for the rocks, and then just as soon as it hits, you want to get a quick reel if you are throwing a jig to the rocks, right? Give it a quick reel, then that gets you over the rocks, and then just kind of like let it drop, and then
Do
start
its
working
deal.
from there. That will save you a lot of getting stuck on the rocks. And these bearded jigs, that is one of our sponsors that we're actually giving away today. Those have this like little bit of a like lip underneath it. So when they hit the rocks, they kind of skim up off of those rocks. So you get a lot less hang-ups on the rocks with those bearded jigs. Plug for our sponsor.
Sweet.
And didn't Kathy catch her first rockfish from a kayak?
Yeah.
How did you guys get to Poplar Island on a kayak?
I was towing her. I had my motor guide on the front of my Old Town 120. I had her roped on back on she was on my Old Town 106, basically just towing her. The first one she caught trolling. I hear her screaming. The video's on my channel. You got to go check it out. I hear her screaming back there. I'm like, just reel it in. And then the next one she caught, the second one she caught literally just throwing it right out into the rocks, and that was her first time rock fishing. Now, of course, awesome. I skunked for the day. Okay, but here's the thing: when you take your girlfriend fishing, you should skunk for the day. Yeah, she needs to catch all the fish, and people go, "Ah, you suck." I'm like, no, I was a good guy that day.
That's how you go home a happy man still. So
that never goes well when you're catching fish after fishing.
No, I was a good guide. That day. Is what I say, because I was, and you know what? It's much easier to get her. If I caught all the fish, the next time we were to go fishing, she'd be like, yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah. So that was supposed to happen.
That's a great story. Couple quick questions. We're going to try to rapid fire these a little bit because our guests were told we're going to end this at 8:30, so I don't want to keep them on too long.
Tim Blanchard called in. He got stuck in the mud with his boat out in the Potomac. No lie. And he's just trying to get his family home. So I said, don't worry about it. We got it covered. And that's why I snagged Austin, who literally just came in off the water. He's like, I need a shower. I'm like, no, you don't. We don't care if you stink.
You look great, buddy.
The effect of the moment.
Today,
if you smell like
sunburned. I got burned today too.
Yeah. I got stuck. Where was it? Over by, you'll know this area, Tom, over behind Bloodsworth Island, where it gets really shallow in there.
Oh yeah, it's shallow in there. Yeah.
I got stuck where I bet you, Tommy Robinson. I got stuck out there at that skinny water, and they actually had to come out and get me.
Yeah. Well, I got stuck out there in my boat, and it was my first time getting stuck, so I tried to trim up as much as I can, gun it out of there, and all I did was fill up my entire engine full of sand, and all the carburetors had to be cleaned out. That was an expensive screw up. But let's rapid fire some of these last questions, do question of the night, and wrap up. Michael Hoffman asks, do you guys have snakehead where you're from? I'm supposing. Tom, do you have anything close to a snakehead in New Zealand?
Nope.
Nothing like that.
If you ever make it out, let me know. We'll get you on them.
Yep.
Yeah. Michael also asks, hey, Austin, never asked you, what's your biggest snakehead?
My biggest snakehead's 34.5 inches and 17.2 pounds.
That's a big fish.
I got that last year during the pre-spawn.
That's a big fish.
Oh, yeah.
I've sort of noticed that well, I don't know, snakehead are funny. Sometimes the smaller ones just kind of roll over and let you pull them in. But sometimes the bigger ones will fight super hard and then just kind of quit. But sometimes you're in for a fight for
feel
the
like
whole time.
that's the opposite sometimes for me.
Yeah.
I feel like those big ones sometimes, unless it's like fry ball season where they're fired up protecting their babies, a lot of the times you hit those big ones and they're just like, ugh, and they kind of fold over and then
Yeah.
they'll,
Yeah,
they'll
my
start to
31,
do
when
their
I caught that 31 over at the Patapsco, by the way, Patapsco boys, I caught that 31 and it literally just laid on I laid there. Let me take a picture. I'm calling my friends. I got a dragon. And then literally like all of a sudden the things start freaking out and jump off the boat,
I
which
was
is
about to
on
All
my
say,
right.
it's
video, which is
usually
on my
once you get
channel.
them into the kayak and on the
Yeah.
board, that's when they love to have their freakouts.
Oh, right. That's where the fight really starts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Tom,
today
I
I
don't know
got that.
if you've seen videos on that, but like they're very well known to, get in your lap, freak
Oh
out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
slap the crap out of you right in your face.
If you go to Lucky and Blessed Fishing Channel and look for the 31-inch, my PB snakehead is what it says or whatever, you'll see not only that one, but you'll see another one. And in slow motion, this thing is like, it comes off the hook and I'm catching it with my GoPro. And you see the slow-mo video is like epic. This snakehead's flailing around. You see it spit the frog out. It's still flailing. It lands on my boat. I'm sitting there with my feet trying to wrangle it in so it doesn't get off the boat. But it's great. It's a great dancing snakehead video. Definitely go check it out. And that's
They're
why
a
they're
lot
so
of fun and a
the
while.
adrenaline rush that you get when you're dancing with those things.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's go through the questions.
Rockfish
really
is still
quick.
my favorite, though, Tom.
Scott, do we still do we have enough to give out 2 prizes tonight so Tom and Austin can each pick a winner? All right, so let's go through it. Michael, is the fishing a little different than here? Let's go. Michael also asked, "What's your biggest rockfish?" I think that was to Tom. Michael's coming in hard here in the beginning.
Michael throw the questions, bad boy. He is ready.
Have you caught a rockfish on the fly rod? Is it a different fight? We did consider this a question because it was a thought-provoking remark. It's a firm believer that there's been a huge tilt in the ecosystem. Less rockfish, perch, and usual migrating species. Redfish, snakehead, catfish have become the norm. And then we had Ryan. Ryan Shore asked, I regularly fish shallow water grass flats around the islands. Would it be a mess trying to fly fish around all grass? Tommy asked, what's your take on carp? I know they don't get much love in your country or here in the U.S. Michael coming back, trying to cement his spot.
Michael's
What's your favorite fish to catch on the fly rod? What else we got? Let's see. Miss this one. Sorry, Ryan. Do you ever go down to the eastern shore of Virginia and target tarpon in August? I'm guessing that's for you, Tom.
No. I mean, I've been in the bay and I've seen them, but I've not gone specifically down to Cape Charles, basically on the ocean side or the island side. I haven't done that, no.
Michael asked, and do y'all have snakehead where you live? Let's see. What's the biggest snakehead you've ever caught? That's to you, Austin. And Austin, you can pick whatever question you want. It doesn't have to be one directed to you.
Okay.
And that is the last question. So I guess we'll start with you, Austin. What would you say is the question of the night?
Let's go with Michael's. What's your favorite fish to catch on a fly rod?
Nice. Like that question. So, Michael, quantity definitely locked you in tonight, but you had some quality questions as well. And Tom, what you got?
I like Ryan's question about fishing in grass on a fly. I think it's a good question and it's doable.
I like that, and it also sort of ties in both the snakehead and the rockfish because you can catch both of those species and red drum in the right situation in the grass. So that's a good one. And we got to send another prize to Ryan because he's now won twice in a row. But that's it for the night.
Ryan has some lures coming to him from last week. I still need his address, by the way.
Hey, Scott.
Scott, one more time. How does someone register for the tournament?
Yeah, so just really simple, MarylandInvasives.com, MarylandInvasives.com, really easy. Or just go to our website. As soon as you go to our website, it's just going to pop up. Click on the link. It's $50 today. Tomorrow, it's $60. So guess what? Sign up now, and actually you can get in this drawing because we're actually going to be drawing names, and you could actually win some stuff tonight. So hop on there and get, and even if you don't fish, you're going to get, you can hop on, you can help us with, all these amazing things that we're doing here at Lucky and Blessed Fishing. And you can hop on here and win free prizes. So even if you don't get out, it's a great thing because you can win free prizes and help support our amazing mission here. So, but yeah, hop on the site. It's $50. If you do the membership, the LABF membership, it's $20 a month. You get a hat, you get a t-shirt, you get invited to our once a month members only. You're in the club event. It could be a fishing meetup. It could be an online event like this where we bring in a guest where you can learn valuable stuff. So that membership, $20 a month, guys. But what you're doing is you're supporting our mission every single month so we can continue this work. And again, we really over 600 people last year that we were able to get out fishing, and we're going to double that this year. So this tournament and everything that we're raising money for now is going to help us in 2026 to keep our work going.
Great stuff. And a fantastic cause, one that I'm honored and privileged to be a part of. Austin,
yep.
How does someone book a trip and get to witness your glorious March sunburn?
So Austin is one of our sponsors, and one of our prizes is a day out with this amazing snakehead angler out on the water. And how many snakehead have you caught to date?
Up today, I've got 33, and then the first dragon today, which is a snakehead.
Already 33 today, but how about like lifetime?
Oh gosh, I mean over the thousands.
So guys, again, win a trip with Austin, man. You will go and catch some snakehead.
So Scott, I wanted to also, for your tournament, for the Invasives tournament, I wanted to get in touch with you and get you some hats over so you can do some giveaways with some hats.
Nice.
I got the China Chasing Outdoors hats, so I've got different colors.
Why don't we make that one of the prizes for tonight?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, if you let me know where to send it or what to do, or how to get it to you, Scott. So let me know and I can get it on over to you.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
Austin, how does someone book a trip with you, assuming they don't win the amazing prize?
So we got a couple different ways you can book. You can message me directly on my phone, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, or you can go to my website, www.chinachasinoutdoors.com. And you can book right on there. We got all of the options for our trips between the 4, 6, and 8 hour trips that you need, and all the tabs there for you. We also got the gallery with just some of the catches that we've had out with the customers. So feel free to come on over there or hit my direct line. My phone number is also 443-867-2438. And if anybody needs it, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook.
What's the last four of the phone number?
2438.
And the website was ChinaChasingOutdoors.com.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just put it up on the screen.
Perfect.
And same question for you, Tom. Guys, two amazing anglers, very different fish that they target. Great opportunities to get on some amazing fish. Tom, how does someone book a trip with you?
Easiest way is go to my website, www.fishwithweaver.com. I've got the Fish with Weaver IG and the Fish with Weaver Facebook, but just go check out the website. All the details are on there.
That's fantastic. And I mean, I think, both of these experiences sounded like amazing trips for me. I've always been challenged when it comes to snakehead. I've probably caught maybe 24 in my whole life.
Well, come on out when you get a free chance.
Yeah, and
We got you too.
it took me probably 5 trips to catch my first one.
They're smart now. They're smart.
And Tom, I've got a fly rod that's like perfectly set for rockfish. I just don't know how to use it.
We need to get you. You need to go spend 2 hours with Joe Evans.
I think I'll do that because
And that will change your world. I mean, you get Joe to just get you started, and then it's just a little bit of work, and then maybe a couple of YouTube videos, and then it really, if you get somebody just to, the one tip I tell people, even if they're going off YouTube, put your camera away from where you are, so you're videoing yourself. And then go casting, and then go look at yourself. You're not doing what you think you're doing.
yeah,
you think you look like Lefty Cray. This is perfect, but you don't look like Lefty Cray.
I don't think I want to see that video because
that would be me.
Yeah, and like with me, Grant, the first thing is finding a way to slice a little time out of our busy schedules to go fishing.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about with Joe, you carve out a couple of hours, and he's in Annapolis, and schedule it with him on a lunchtime or an evening. Well, summers are getting here, days are getting longer. Schedule him. It's just an evening, 2 hours one evening, and he'll meet you in a park or a baseball field or something, and you just do it there.
Cool.
Good stuff. Well, everybody who watched tonight, thank you so much. Once again, fantastic audience. If you know someone who's into fishing, looking for a great cause to support, please share this video with them. I had a great time. Thanks so much, Tom, Austin, Scott, as always.
No problem, guys.
Stay lucky and blessed. And we will see you next week. We've got Stephen Cambo Trout joining us next week. So that ought to be a lot of fun. Yeah, thanks so much, everybody. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good one, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. See you next week.
Thanks.